Hello everyone, this time we are going to repair the washing machine easy, the easy float. Then well, it can come as easy or mave. We have to remove these two screws from the back. What it is to remove the top, this what we are going to do is a transmission change on this washing machine. I already uploaded a video also, which is the change of weight sensor when they don't want to wash or spin depending on, well, I'll leave them there in the description here above. When removing the two screws from the back, we lift the cover and we have to disconnect the hose from the pressure switch and the harness. We also have on the left side a quartz screw that is the physical ground. Well, since we remove it and remove all the harness, we have to start removing the agitator. To remove the agitator is a little bit complicated sometimes because it comes under pressure. So that it can come out, what we have to do is at the bottom with some screwdrivers put a screwdriver on one side. Many do it with ties and everything is fast. Look, only they put a screwdriver on one side. I'm going to do it off camera because it's going to be complicated. Another unarmed one on the other side and they pick up and that's it. It comes out quite easy without tying up, without anything at all. Be careful because when it comes out quickly and it can hit you, it's quite dirty with soap because that way the customer had it is called that float because this bottom piece, the float, is the one that clutches to spin or wash. Remember that you have to remove this screw from the center and hit what is the shaker coupling towards the top part little by little as well. Remember that we have more videos about washing machine failures. You can check my channel and remember to subscribe, comment if you have any questions also, so that if you want to support me, because in the description there are two channels, one of unboxing and one of travel, in which you subscribe, it would help me a lot. Quite a lot. It is something that does not cost you anything and it supports me, because if you save money or something, then a subscription would help me a lot. Well, we already hit this part from here up, well up, rather have. This one calms down because if you want to despair, there are times that they break the pieces or they don't get it out well. That easy, it's something quite easy. Ready, you saw, little by little, having patience. Then we remove the float and to remove the nut there. If they have to do it with a wrench, look, many blow it up, fly the nut and buy another one. It is also valid. It costs 30 pesos the nut, that is, no, it depends on what they want to do. In this case I always like to rescue everything because I like to disassemble the things. Well then, well, I have this key. You can also do it with an extension or with a bazooka, which is another tool, but with an extension you can do it without problem. This one you just have to give it a few hard blows to this side so it is to the side as if it were the hands of the clock, and that's it. The nut comes out. Since they remove it down, it carries the clutch, that is the float, that is this black piece. Then type of parts have to check that they are not damaged, and they see that they are very damaged, very rusty but broken. Because these are not made of plastic and others of anti-rust, so they do not rust, we clean all that well with a wire brush so that we avoid having a hard time getting out the transmission, because if you don't clean it, it will be tied with the same dirt and you're going to struggle a lot, but quite a lot. Since you don't have an idea, then I recommend you is to remove it and everything. Now we're going to remove what is the lid or the collar on top, or however you want to handle names. I don't handle a specific name because each technician does it no in a different way, and if I then put them, I tell them name that it is there. They do not tell me that it is wrong and that this well as no. The plastic thing above, to remove this we just press it down and throw away the staples. All this we have to wash well, because if you want to do a good job you have to wash it well, so that to prevent it from getting dirty in the future. It sounds strange, but yes, a washing machine when it is already very dirty starts to dirty the clothes. I am also going to upload a video of how to clean these tubs without disassembling them with this cleaner. Is a cleaner, this one from Whirlpool, but it is very good to remove this tub. What we have to do is, in first what I do is disassemble the bottom part because I am alone. If they had another person to help them, one can lift the tub and the other can hit it, but in this case I am alone. Then I have to disassemble by myself, and worse with one hand, since I am recording, so I am going to do it this way. We have to remove all the cables that I have to use. There are simply three harnesses, which is the capacitor, motor and weight sensor. The pump does not need to be disconnected. We are going to remove the screws, which are a quarter and all that. The small screws are these. Here there are some plastic swells that hold the cable. I still do not recommend removing them to be able to save it, because if we break it then we have to buy others and everything good. I recommend saving them. We have to remove all the screws that they bring that are enough to make a complete service. I also recommend changing belt change pulley do service. To the motor change this the weight sensor or speed sensor, or what is practically a pulse step, well we already removed since we started to remove all the screws. Remember, always remember to clean everything that is these harnesses with isopropyl alcohol, as it helps them. To remove the tartar and everything and then prevent them from having problems now. Yes, connection or any problem in the harness. Since we removed this and they are fixed, it was pulled in front a little, then just remember that now me on the top. Since I'm alone, no, I can't make much force and I don't want to break the tub. What we have to do is heat what is the plate, the bottom of the basket, which is the antimony part below, that has to be heated around without heating the center. For what to do? That the metal expands with the heat and loosens the center. If you also heat the center it will not be good since we sun it. Since we remove it before taking out the tub, we are going to turn it over. We are going to turn the washing machine again. For what then? To remove it. Those two plastics that I mentioned to save the plastics. Let's see if I get a little complicated here, because that's how good they are. There they are. Since we remove them, we take out the transmission. Remember also to remove this flat washer or tub retention washer or tub holder. If you already see it bent, you also have to remove it, because if it is not going to start sticking the tub. The crazy thing, those are very common failures, that if they are squeezed too much they become pandos and they are not okay. Well, now what we have to do is now, yes, to start. Take out the tub and all that kind of thing. Also remember to clean all your parts well always, because many times they do not clean, and since you disassembled it is convenient to clean all this type of spare part. One, I'm going to leave them in the description of the video. I am going to put a link where you can buy the transmission if you want it. It is the Smooth Amazon. We are also going to remove the engine. As I say, it is always advisable to do a cleaning service, because if cleaning service is not done, the truth is that then there may be a failure, not always, but good. Since we remove the engine, we remove the belt, we also remove the pulley. The pulley only has a 2-leg pressure lock. We can remove that with a cross screwdriver, I mean flat, with a cutter, with many things we can remove it, and that's where the ingenuity of each of us comes in. Each user technician in this part of here we have to clean quite well. Since the seal was going to go for that, we have to take out the tub first, and we are also going to wash it. Has to be well cleaned. This washing machine is not so dirty, but it is always recommended. Wash, because from the bottom if it is something somewhat dirty, since we have it on that side, we are going to proceed to wash. We also have to wash this tub. I am going to turn it first to start cleaning what is the part of the seal. This I recommend cleaning with tinner or isopropyl alcohol, because so that it is totally dry and we do not have a problem. It is not necessary to put silicone on the seal, but I always put it. Is not necessary, but I always put it, because there are times that it has already been changed twice, 3 times transmission, and it was like guango. And it does not seal well when pressure comes in. Well, there is no need to put it, but I always prefer to put it like this. I avoid leaks and a close warranty. Remember that if you buy my spare part in Mercado Libre in my online store, you will have one more advice of any spare parts you buy or anything. That they buy will have a more personalized advice in which they can ask me more direct questions and more personalized. Okay, this washing machine is already a little older model, but there are a lot of work, so people continue to have it. As you see, that's the only thing we are going to do. Now it is to press. When it thunders or the suction is heard, we are going to proceed to put all the screws. Since we have all the screws, we are going to proceed to assemble the motor. I still do not screw it right now. What we are going to do is start to put the other things in. Connections. First we point the engine at. We leave it when we arrive. We don't need to tighten it to the maximum because if we tighten it to the maximum, we won't be able to tension the motor, and the motor has to be tightened so that the belt is tighter. Or I have not arranged, and with the screws on that here I am struggling a little since the camera does not let me see the holes, and all this is easier to do what happens than me with one hand, because if it always costs me more work everything. I change myself usually washing tubs and everything. I throw half an hour here in the video because I'm practically throwing myself like 40 minutes 50 because I'm making cuts and seeing where I record and all that is worth. As I tell you, remember, if you want to support me, then subscribe to the two channels that I have. The description is also the online store. Also, a comment is appreciated, positive or suggestion, since there are times that they put things that are not good in this channel. Until that I have another channel in the one of a boxing and this, and another one of travel. But in this channel the truth is the community that there is. It is a very cool comfort. They comment on each other and everything is really generating a very nice comfort, and that gives me pleasure. And despite the fact that we are growing fast, this channel never thought I would start uploading videos, and out of nowhere we started to get to 6,000, and just as we are going easy, in 2 more months we get to 10,000. So all that gives me quite a lot of pleasure because we screwed everything together. Remember that all your pieces that were removed must be put on. Nothing that this one no longer goes or always puts everything here. No, here we are not going to be technicians that have spare parts. On the contrary, here you are going to lack that some little swellings, that's something to put on, and something better that is good. We already connect the harness already. After having cleaned it with isopropyl alcohol, which will mean that if you do not connect them, you do not clean it with isopropyl alcohol, then you have a problem with the continuity, and well, you can mark an error. Okay, since we have all this connected, then we have to put the pulley, the belt in. Connect the capacitor. Well, since this is there, remember that the pulley has only another pressure. It has a flat washer. Don't forget the flat washer, because then you don't put it on, and if you don't put it on, the safety can get stuck with a turned and it can fly away. Then the flat washer is very important. You can put it with tweezers or as you want. I put it even within this case with the corner of a cutter. As I tell you, of each one you can put your tool. As I say, you can use your tool or put your pieces as you want. Well, since we are now practically all assembled, then we are going to proceed to put the band. This is the step that can be said that you have to be a little careful, because if this band is too tight, it will not work. Is going to be forced, and it will not work. If it is very cheap, it will not wash. Here what I do to push the engine, you can pull it with both hands and tighten the engine, or lever with something. In this case I lever with the handle of the hammer, and since it is levered, we are going to proceed to tighten the engine well. Once the motor has been tightened, they are fixed. This is the voltage that it must have. Remember to always connect everything. Check the pump, capacitors, the connections of the motor, this, and check it. This is the right voltage that it must have, no more and no less. That is the perfect voltage for that. They don't have faults. Okay, well, since we have all that, let's turn the washing machine over now. That we turn the washing machine over and everything. Remember that here at the bottom there is a little bit of fresh silicone. You just have to muddy it without touching the spring, because if it touches the spring can lose tension because it is going to stick. And well, Quickly the water will begin to filter and you will have to make a transmission change again quickly. Remember that for the care of your washing machines, do not put blankets, or if you are going to put blankets in it, then put it one by one, because sometimes they almost climb on. The clothes or washing machine can be washing all day, but with little clothes or with the right weight, well, now we put the flat washer or the tub holder. Remember to put it on if it is washing, because I also sell them here, or everything here I can. Handle all the spare parts, and I handle them at a good price, so usually my prices are the lowest on the internet, or even the lowest, depending on how everything there is competition and everything, but here I give you advice and guarantee, which is the important thing. Good now. That we put the tub only goes like this to pressure the same, then we put what is the clutch of the float and the nut the same. We have to tighten it with blows until the arrival. There is already the arrival that gives an eighth turn more, and that's it if you tighten it. Too much in excess, you are going to double what is the lower round, and it will start to stick when it comes to spinning, so when it arrives, do not get excited when hitting well. Well, since we have the nut tight and everything, we are going to proceed to put the other parts. The float must be cleaned well so that it does not get stuck, because the time it gets stuck, in fact the washing machine without movement, as if agitated to release the clutch. This only when it has water it goes up, floats, and only makes the washing clutch. Remember that what the coupling is has a position, look, that is, it has a position so that it enters there. If not, everything will enter, and if they put it wrong they will thunder. These pieces then have position, must fit super well, super good. Well, we already put the screw, the same screw goes to the arrival and a quarter turn more, because if they put more they will crack the piece, or it can cap the screw, which is worse because there are times that stays flush with the transmission. They have to drill, put extractor, and they are going to struggle a lot. Good, since we have all this, we have to put the agitator. Now that the agitator is quite easy, it just gets the same, it has positions. If you see that they don't enter, take it out and put it back in, and that's it. It should go in easily since we have the agitator. Now we have to proceed to put the white part and make connections and all that kind of details. Since we put the white part. Here I already connected the hose, but I put it another on the outside to do a manual test, and well, that is, without water, and I already connected everything, only the screw of a quarter is missing, and then we are going to proceed to test it. I am practically going to test it first, without water. It will not wash obviously, because that one has a float, so this it's just going to make it look like the shake to see that it's not stuck to what the float is, and that's how we put it to work. Look. Well, there it is. Right now we are going to blow the pressure switch to simulate that it has water. You can only have platinum pressure strains. You cannot electronic pressure strips, because they can damage them if you can, but they can damage. There it is. There is that agitation that it does. It is to prevent it from sticking. So here it is already washing, and this is how it washes, and well, this work has already been guaranteed easy for 2 to 3 years, 5 to 8 if you take care of them. And well, I hope you liked it. If you liked it, give like, comment, share, subscribe, and see you until next time.